broodlords. They will kill everything.
That was actually my very next question. Could you elaborate a little bit more on just how ghosts fare against ultras, and what is the way to make ghosts effective against ultras?
The big thing whenever you're using ghosts is time. And what I mean by that is if the battle is over in an instant, your ghosts aren't going to be very effective because there's only they can only snipe so quickly,
Hmm.
limited partly by the game itself. If you try and snipe too quickly, they actually won't snipe at all,
Hmm.
and partly just like takes time to click on things. So spreading your army out before the battle, adding bunkers, doing anything you can to make the battle go a little bit longer so that you can get all the snipes in. And beyond that, you just snipe the ultras that are closest to your army or the ones that are weakest.
Awesome, awesome. So snipe is kind of a great answer to brood, a great answer to ultra, okay answer to infestor. How does it do against mutas?
Um, Pretty good. Ghosts do bonus damage to mutas. Snipe, you usually don't see snipe against mutas the way I use them.
Hmm.
Like, basically what I try and do is when I see hive tech coming, like if I see hive morphing, I throw down a ghost academy, I get ghost energy, and I start making ghosts.
Gotcha.
At which point mutas usually aren't a big factor.
So it's your reaction to hive tech specifically.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Then I'll just ask you a couple questions about some units we haven't seen yet. Again, you've already said that you don't really like banshees in this matchup. I've seen it suggested that banshees, especially with cloak, can be effective against infestors. How do you feel about that?
It seems pretty reasonable, particularly as a mid-game response.
Okay.
It's not something I have practiced myself, so I'm not super familiar with it, but I don't see why it couldn't work.
All right. And what about the Raven? There has been a little bit of talk, I think, in a thread on Team Liquid about how Point Defense Drone is so effective against broodlings. How come we don't ever see any Ravens out of you, especially in TvZ?
It's kind of the same thing as why I don't just mass Vikings. Ravens are really, really poor against ultras or
Mm-hmm.
like mass ultra speedling,
Mm-hmm.
and they're also really gas intensive. And I think ghosts in general are more versatile, particularly when you get cloak, and if you want to start throwing in nukes.
Yeah.
There's a lot more you can do with it as opposed to ravens. Like auto turret, once they have 2/2 or 3/3 upgrades, like auto turret's not so good. And then PDD and Hunter Seeker against Broodlords, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, here we are on Tal'Darim Altar. We talked about this map a little bit. You said that this map is so huge it makes drop play pretty damn good. Is that something we can expect to see out of you here?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I actually have a different opening that I do on this map.
Oh, cool. Well, that'll give us something new to talk about. So as soon as I get the go ahead from Mr. J Echo, which there it is, we'll fire it up. Be ready
Ready?
if you're ready. All right, cool.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Oh, I'm feeling very sad seeing how good ghosts are against everything. I have to start working on my Terran off race. All right, so Tal'Darim Altar. Some folks in chat are saying this is a heavily Zerg favored map. What's your response to that?
No.
No.
Um, I I think it's an okay map. Just like it's big, but it allows you to do more drops. I don't know. Denying a third is almost impossible.
Hmm.
Actually, denying bases in general is just really hard on this map. But it's equally hard for the Zerg to keep your number of bases down.
Hmm.
I don't know. I haven't played Tel'Darim a huge amount. Like I said, I was in Spain during the school year for the last 5 months. I've
Right.
been somewhat inactive. And when I was active, I was playing TVP because I had 2 TSL matches for it as well as something else. I don't know. But that was like the matchup I was practicing. So
Right.
TvZ on this map, not as familiar.
Fair enough. This is the MLG variant of Tal'Darim Altar, which as far as I can tell, it's the exact same as the ladder map. I haven't
I
noticed
I don't know.
any big differences. So we will see. We will see what unfolds. But I would imagine it's going to play out just like any of the larger maps that are out there, GSL maps and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So with your school year being over, I guess, what's next for you? You're not going to graduate for a while yet, right?
Yeah, I've still got another year. So this summer I'm looking to go to Korea. Before that, MLG Columbus, and any other North American events. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to be back in the States for Columbus, and then after that, probably Korea is kind of what I'm hoping. I'm not exactly sure.
Cool, cool. You going to be hanging out at the FXO house?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure when that's actually going to be ready.
I keep bugging Sheth about it, trying to get myself an invite because that place just looks too sweet.
Definitely.
All right, so let's talk about this opening that we're seeing out of you. Only one Rax and one gas. So this is telling me that you want to open up with some Hellion Harass and then expand behind it. Is that your thought process?
Yeah, so what this is it's a pre-igniter opening. So what I'm going to do here, build a tech lab in just a moment. I hope this walls.
We'll see. Might need a depot in there.
Yeah, okay, we're good.
Add-on complete. Our SCVs are under attack.
And are you going to make a second factory, or are you just going to put that that first factory onto a reactor when pre-igniter finishes?
I don't actually use
Our
the
SCVs are under attack.
reactor here.
Oh. Okay. Well, that makes it a little bit more economical then, I suppose.
You'll see how it works out.
Cool.
Be easier than me trying to walk through it. My mind is so blurred by 2 Rexes. I'm not sure I can even remember this build.
Fair enough. Now, as a Zerg player, anytime I see this kind of one gas opening, I don't know if he actually scouted your one gas, but my eyes get kind of wide, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to send 5 roaches across the map and try to kill him. How do you feel about dealing with that kind of play, and what kind of tips do you have for Terran players that run into early roach builds?
You just gotta aggressively scout, basically. So you know what's coming. Oop.
And you do, in fact, scout a roach.
Yep.
Is that going to change your build at all, or are you still feeling confident doing what you're doing?
I'm fine with this. Basically, the main change is instead of getting... Where the hell is that supply depot? Instead of getting my medevac first, I'm going to get the tank first.
Alright. Little subtle differences like that, man. That's what separates the pros from the Joes, I suppose. That's a lot of rhyming. So this medevac is almost certainly going to be for a Hellion drop, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
This is actually going to be the really cool type of Hellion drop where you auto-repair them.
That sounds dirty.
It is dirty.
Ready for dust off. SCV ready.
And by the looks of it, you're just going to transition right into normal tank marine stuff after this.
Yep. That's the plan.
Do you spend any time watching pro games, or do you mostly just do school and practice?
Lately, when I'm really practicing, yeah, I watch games. Watching other games is always generally a good idea.
Additional supply depots required. Add-on complete.
SCV ready.
Ooh, he's pretty tight against this. But you've got those SCVs. So by the looks of it, you're not going to inflict any sort of critical damage with this drop. What's your goal at this point?
Actually, to get him trapped inside his base. The only thing here, I'm going to take a bit of a risk. I'm not sure what the timing is on mutas.
Go, go, go! Who wants some?
Research complete.
Oh, this actually looks really nasty.
SCV ready.
Whoops.
SCV ready.
Didn't realize he was focus firing the...
Drop ship.
Yep.
SCV ready. Ready for dust off. SCV ready. I'm in deep. SCV ready.
The amount of pressure you've been able to apply here is pretty impressive.
Should have taken that watchtower.
Who wants some? Let's have a blast!
Ready for dust off.
There are the banelings.
Research complete.
We could use some help here.
If you had to grade yourself, or particularly your matchups, how would you say your TvZ fares compared to your TvT and your TvP?
I don't know.
Somebody, get me out of this mess. Ready for dust off.
Mineral field depleted.
How do you feel about the damage you've dealt here? Are you pulling ahead? Is he doing
I
a good
need
job?
to see if he's taken a third or not.
Okay.
That's the real question.
Use some help